Okay, I got one more video to do here in the Lair of the Arian Vampire. I'm going to attach one more scripture to this stake to kill this thing. And then I'm going to get out of here because this place is giving me the creeps. Let me talk about the final part of Hebrews 1:10 through 12. Let me read it to you. It's going to be 11 through 12. The Father is talking to the Son. It says, "They will perish, but you remain. They will all wear out like a garment. You will roll them up like a robe, like a garment. They will be changed, but you remain the same, and your years will never end." Now, in this verse, you have the Father telling the Son that He remains the same, that He is immutable, and this is a property only enjoyed by the eternal God of the universe, especially in a Hebrew context. A Hebrew Christian would be reading this and instantly identifying it with Yahweh, the God of the universe. Now here's Malachi 3:6, where God says, "I, Yahweh, or I, the Lord, do not change. So you, O descendants of Jacob, are not destroyed." Also, Psalm 102:25, where David says the same thing to the Lord, where he says, "You do not change. You are the same, and your years will never end." Now, the question is, because I think I can kind of hear the counter argument. Yes, Jesus is the same after his resurrection and ascension into heaven, but that doesn't mean he's always the same. Well, let's look at one more thing here. Hebrews 13:8 specifically. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And if you're attempting to say that what the Hebrews author meant was literally yesterday, so he wasn't the same, are you saying that he was not the same 2 days before the day that he had written that, or 3 days? If you're going to take yesterday literally, you really got to stretch it out for the sake of, if you're going to take it literally for the sake of accommodating your theology, you're really, I don't know what to tell you. When someone is the same yesterday, today, and forever, it means they are always the same. That they do not change. We creatures are not the same. There was a time I did not exist, and then one day I existed. That is a major change. That hardly makes me the same forever. Angels, and keep in mind, Hebrews 1 is contrasting between Christ and the angels. Angels are not the same yesterday, today, and forever. There was once a time angels were not in existence, and Jesus, their creator, put them into existence. But Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And that's a quality only enjoyed by Jehovah God of the universe. So to wrap up this series, we've seen that Jehovah God was speaking in Zechariah 12:10 and talked about a day where they would look upon me who they pierced, and this gets partially fulfilled at the cross. We see in Hebrews 1:10 that the Father addresses the Son as Lord, and you're only calling a person Lord in Scripture if A, you are subordinate to them, which the Father is not subordinate to the Son, or if that person is God. We've seen that the hands of the Son made heaven and earth, and that again, in a Hebrew context, the Hebrews did not know of any kind of intermediate worker in the scheme of their creation. All they knew was Jehovah God directly created everything, and the author of Hebrews said that the Son directly created everything. And now we see that the Son is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and He does not change. These are... Let this really sink into your consciousness. These are traits and qualities that only Jehovah God possesses. But I can tell you're not entirely convinced. And let me share something with you to really chew over. It's not scripture, but it's one of the wisest things that I ever heard outside of the realm of scripture. It's a quote, and I'll tell you the author, the utterer of the quote in a minute. But it goes like this: in various ways has the devil rivaled and resisted the truth. Sometimes he aims to destroy the truth by defending it. He maintains that there is one Lord, Almighty Creator of the universe, so that out of this doctrine of unity he may fabricate a heresy. That was from Tertullian in Against Praxeas, chapter 1. In the context of that, Tertullian was talking about it was basically the equivalent of what modern-day oneness Pentecostals believe, that somebody was manufacturing, this idea that, yes, there's one God, and so Jesus must be the Father. He must be one person. Let me just ask you this. In light of these scriptures, and in the light of history, in light of no one until Arius believing that Jesus was somehow a created God, can you be sure that you are not being deceived by the devil? And it's a very noble sounding thing that he's making you believe. There's one God, and then how could that one God be more than one person? Yet what do the scriptures testify? The ones that I've mentioned, and what does history testify? The earliest Christians, from as far back as the writing of First Clement, believed that Jesus Christ was God, and that was all the way back in 95 A.D. Arianism, I can pretty much zero right in on. It came from first believe in the early 200s. Paul of Samosata, he believed that Jesus became the Lord at his baptism, and he was friends with Lucian, who thought, all right, I kind of like that, but you know what? I think he's more of a created God. And then Lucian taught Arius, and let the dominoes fall. I just want you to think about this. Who really is Jesus Christ? What does Scripture say? And what does the preponderance of evidence of what the earliest Christians believe say? That it is very God of very God. I pray if you're watching this, you consider both these scriptures and the testimony of church history, and ask yourself, have I been saved by this Jesus Christ? Or do I mock this Jesus Christ by taking pokes at his deity, taking pokes at the idea of the Trinity doctrine? Because if you're mocking this Jesus Christ, one day you're going to have to come before him and answer for it. For now, I'm going to kill this beast and get out of here. God bless.